Welcome back to Crypto Spaces with what I think is a potential 100x gem, multi-billion dollar asset, and I'm about to dive in and explain to you guys why. Remember, I always try to bring the best projects with potential, and I think this one is going to absolutely explode. From here, we're diving into Surge. So Surge is tokenizing startups, democratizing finance. Now, this is the thing we're seeing all over, from Chainlink, from Base, from Larry Fink, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink. We're from Brian Armstrong, CEO Solana. All these different chains and networks, all these different people in massive positions of power, multi-billionaires, trillionaires, millionaires, you name it. They all believe in tokenizing the future, right? Tokenizing is the future. Tokenizing startups, tokenizing companies, your brand, your names, your IP, right? So that is what Surge is going to be accomplishing, tokenizing startups. So that whole category is called ICM, which is Internet Capital Markets, but I think it goes beyond that, right? So companies that want to build and bring it on chain, they will be built through Surge, right? So, and I'm talking about companies that potentially could inevitably be on the S&P 500 in the future, right? The S&P 500 index, and not just in our bubble of crypto, even though it's tokenized, right? That's going to be the gap that is eventually bridged in the future when we tokenize everything. When, Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, is right, because, he's the CEO of the multi-trillion dollar hedge fund. This is what we're gonna see in the future, right? So that is their utility. That is what they're bringing to the space. And if you go through the website and break down every read through their what they have built, the partnerships they have, everything you see from this project is, to me, a potential 100x gem, multi-billion dollar project, right? And I just want to show you guys the metrics here. 200,000 members, 215,000 members, 17,000 teams, rounded off 18,000 teams, and 363,682 prototypes, right? Partnerships with OpenAI, Nvidia, Meta, AWS, Intel, GitHub. Like, it's massive. It is absolutely massive. This project, I think, is going to explode from here, and you don't see much people talking about it, right? And what's great about it is, as I said, I'm not trading on Solana anymore. I personally want to stick to Base. It's on Base, Solana, and BNB, right? So if you're a Solana trader, Binance trader, Base trader, you could get Surge because the liquidity is great on all three chains, right? You take a look at their Twitter. After you go, like, the website is such a well-made website, right? It's great, but I'm looking at more at the partnerships that they have and what they've built and all the, everything they've done. Look at this, right? Yearly, they do 200 plus hackathons, right? Hackathons is where they bring in new builders to test different products for the startups, right? 240k AI builders, right? So it also taps into the AI narrative as well. And they partnered with a company called Lab, which, is massive, because Lab is responsible for all those partnerships with Google, Amazon, etc., right? Google, Meta, OpenAI, my apologies, not Amazon, but Google, Meta, Microsoft, etc., right? And as you can see here, we have the CEO, Doc's CEO, right? In crypto, most of these projects, you don't have founders or people building that, are doxed, right? They prefer to be hidden so they could, launch their project, rug pull you or scam you, and then move on, do it again, right? We have someone here that's doxed. This is so legit, man. This is extremely legit. And you can see a video here with Chainlink talking about everything being tokenized. Larry Fink recently just spoke about that as well, CEO of BlackRock, guys. Like, this is not a joke. As you can see here, the CEO here at the hackathon challenge, Surge, with Google, next to names like Google DeepMind, Google AI Studio. Like, this is massive, right? This is massive. See the founder here with the other other people involved as well. That is extremely bullish. That is extremely bullish. So right now, if you take a look, Surge is at 28.81 million market cap circulating. So 50% of the supply is out. And the tokenomics reminds me of KTA, Kita. And we saw Kita go to 1.3 billion market cap on chain, right? And potentially Kita is going to keep growing and potentially go to 10 billion in the future. This is another project I could see making a similar move, right? In 2 months, Kita went from this market cap, the same market cap Surge is at right now. In around 2 months, you saw Kita go from 60 mil FTV or 30 mil circulating market cap to 1.3 billion in 2 months, right? So personally, I think if you could get your hands on 10,000 Surge or 20,000 Surge, $588 right now is for 10,000 Surge, and you know, around $1,200 is for 20,000 Surge. 10K to 20K at a billion market cap, if not 2 to 3 billion market cap. Who's to say Surge doesn't get to a 2 billion, 3 billion market cap in the future, right? That's 20K, 30K, and if you buy, you know, the full 20K tokens, that's, you know, 20K at $1, 40K at $2, right? So I personally think, you know, this is going to be absolutely massive. And obviously, like I said, don't overinvest. Don't invest more than you're willing to lose. If you could only afford the $600 for 10K, you do that. If you could only afford the 20,000 tokens for $1,200, you do that, right? Because crypto this year has been so extremely difficult, and I know a lot of people are hurting and their portfolios are down bad. That's why I'm trying to find projects, because I do my own research, then I bring it to the channel if I think it's good and it really has that upside potential where you could invest. You don't have to invest $50,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to make, you know, good gains, right? You could start with $1,000 and potentially make that $1,000 $10,000, $20,000, right? And then we compound those gains for the future. And I think Surge is a multi-billion-dollar asset, if not a billion, 2 to 3 to 5 billion in the future, because the utility of this project is top-notch. If you already hold Surge and you see the video, let me get your thoughts, anything I need to know, because I'll definitely be making updates as the project grows. I'm so confident it will grow. And if you're new, let me get your thoughts as well to the project. Like I said, I recently bought around a 25 mil market cap, you know, and yeah, that's my entry. It's not the best entry. I know they probably have people buying at 10 to 15 mil market cap. You know, obviously that's not the case for me. But hey, I think it's a great entry right now. Still, it hasn't gone into that parabolic phase. It's accumulating right now, consolidating until it starts to break out to that, you know, massive level, just like KTA did on base chain. I think Surge will do the same thing too, and it's on Solana and Binance BSC, Binance chain as well. So, you know, everyone can get involved. It could grab liquidity from all the 3 chains that are most popular, right? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Remember, none of this is financial advice. I'll catch you in the next one.